The year was 1996, and a kid from Southside Chicago had aspirations to prove himself to the entire world. This kid was Kanye West, and as he started his career doing productions for artists like Jay-Z, Grav, Mace, and many others, he slowly started to make a name for himself. He ended up dropping The College Dropout in 2003, which blew up and ultimately changed his life. From there, he released Late Registration, Graduation, 808s and Heartbreak, and many more albums that all feature household hits. Your granny probably know him. Kanye has always had an arrogant persona, to say the least.
And I'm the biggest of all of them.
He's always said what he felt, and it was respectable until it wasn't. Did y'all ever watch Up as children? You know, the movie with Carl, Russell, the dog Kevin. Yeah, that used to be one of my favorite movies of all time, but I digress. My main takeaway from Up is old people fighting may be one of the funniest. My second main takeaway is don't idolize celebrities, because sometimes they do fucked up shit behind the scenes.
Diddy, come on out.
Fortunately, this doesn't describe Kanye, because he does fucked up shit on cinema widescreen in 4K. Now, I'm sure everyone watching this is more than familiar with Kanye's antics.
Yo, we leaving right now.
This nigga Kanye went on a tweet rampage for like 3 days straight. These tweets included, "I'm racist. They putting fat bitches on runways. Elon Musk stole my Nazi swag. I love Hitler. And free Puff." Yeah, it's official, y'all. Graduation cannot say this nigga. Typically, I'm not worried about Kanye's outburst. I just kind of go, oh, it's been 2 years and keep it pushing. Recently, I had a conversation with one of my homeboys, and we talked about the grip this nigga had on our era. Remember in 2015 to 2019 how everyone was wearing the skinniest jeans possible with some type of name brand ranging from Bape, Supreme, Gucci, etc. Yeah, that was Kanye. And don't get it confused, this nigga even inspired the current trend of baggy homeless nigga attire. You cannot go on TikTok without seeing one of those get ready with me's where they throw on these big ass jeans, Timberlands, and a fat ass coat. If you didn't see the homeless person outside your local McDonald's wearing that, it was Kanye doing that shit first. Kanye even inspired your favorite artist's favorite artist. Don't believe me? So you see what I'm saying? This nigga Kanye has so much power in his hands, and what does he do with it? Beef with Twitter niggas and streamers. I didn't even get a chance to talk about his music directly, and you already see how impactful he was. It's just saddening that with such a great legacy, he more than likely will be remembered for this.
I could say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can't drop me. Now what?
More than this.
I get down for my grandfather who took my mama, made us sit in that seat where white folks ain't want us to eat.
So where did it go wrong? Honestly, we don't know. We don't know exactly why things went south. But in 2016, Kanye was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And this is when things started to go a little bonkers. In 2018, Kanye stated his infamous line.
You hear about slavery for 400 years? For 400 years? That sounds like a choice.
Back in the day, I would have tried to analyze and justify the statement for the sake of preserving his image. But the rules that Kanye is a genius and misunderstood is a lie. He's an artistic genius, not Albert fucking Einstein. And yes, before you run into my comments saying something along the lines of,
"You clearly didn't get it. He's talking about being mentally enslaved and expressing the need for free thought."
Nah, I understood. It was just a poorly executed message. And realistically, we shouldn't have to run mental laps to try to understand what this nigga's saying. Anyways, as we progress through the Kanye timeline, in 2020, this nigga announced he was running for president under the independent party, the Birthday Party. The wackiness doesn't stop there though. He proceeds to say, "I'm going to use the framework of Wakanda for what our design is going to feel like in the White House." What is this nigga talking about? In 2021, Kanye and Kim Kardashian filed for divorce and finalized it in 2022. And I was just wondering, like, does anybody remember the whole Pete Davidson situation? Kim was seen with Pete Davidson, and apparently Kanye lost his shit because he ended up dropping a song where he threatened to, I don't know, murder that nigga. He also started calling Pete Skeet for some reason. I don't think that's important to the story. I just thought it was funny. Eventually, this beef, if you can even consider it that, in my mind ended when Pete sent Kanye a picture and Kanye asked, "Where are you?" And Pete responds with, in bed with your wife. Yeah, I stopped paying attention after that. He got it. Also, fun fact, in 2022, Kanye was dropped from Adidas for wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt, got banned from Instagram for being anti-Semitic, switched to Twitter, got banned from Twitter for being anti-Semitic, and then went on an interview with Alex Jones. And we know how that went.
I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table. Especially Hitler.
So, safe to say, 2022 was not his best year. I guess I could mention Kanye's new girlfriend, Bianca, but I really don't know what's going on there. Every time I see her, she's either naked or in the ugliest outfit I've ever seen. There's no in between. So yeah, now we're in 2025, and he's just as tweaked out as before. For someone who's been so iconic in our culture, it's genuinely disappointing that he goes so far off the rails and tarnish his entire reputation. For anyone who's defending this man, stop it. Seriously, stop. A man with this much presence, spreading large-scale hate for any group of people, is extremely dangerous. Everything he gives out, he'll attract. So all the racism and anti-Semitism he spouts will bring in racist and anti-Semitists, essentially creating a cesspool of degenerates who think it's okay to feel the way they do because Kanye and his fan base condone it. I fuck with Kanye's music, his old music. Not really the whole Vulture shit. You can keep that. I'm not here to convince any of you to stop listening to him, but I do think it's important to be aware of the artist behind the music. I also think it's equally important not to idolize anyone. He's a regular nigga, just like you and just like me. And regular people can be at fault. Don't let his or anyone else's status convince you otherwise.